Yeah, okay. Let's at least do something, a short class. I have an audio filter that I can set up. Actually, Aaron, that with the NVIDIA uh, video and audio filters has like a reverb correction. So, but my setup here hasn't changed. But like how I've done my camera and I have my computer over here, some of that stuff's changed. So let's see if we do something and see what happens. And if it's problematic or annoying, we'll make a change. So allow your feet to touch. Bring your head top up. Relax your shoulders. Relax your tailbone. Bring your hands together in the center. And this morning when we start, make sure, by the way, that you do the internal things as well. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Half smile is the minimum. We're lifting the bottom of the torso and inside the shoes, gripping the feet and pulling up on the center of the foot. In this class, sometimes we do a meditation at the end of class where I say, imagine yourself far away, looking at yourself from some far off place. In the beginning, this time, take your mind and put it in the space between your hands. So you can keep your vision open. You can see the world around you. But put where you think your mind is into the center, between the two points on the palm, inside the hand. And so feel the temperature and how much light gets inside that space. What would it be like if you were that small and you looked around from the space on the inside between your palms? And then imagine that empty space between your palm. When your mind is there, imagine the energy that you have from your hands. Take a deep breath and move your mind into your center, into the Dantian. And then check your calibration again. Put your mind into the center and see if you can line your shoulders up even more. Relax your tailbone and make your hips level, straight. Are you gripping both of your feet the same amount? Take a deep breath, relax. Let's do some breathing. So, on your own, at your own pace, keeping all of the same Tai Chi principles we just talked about. Keep the head top up, the neck is straight, relax your tailbone, grip your feet, lifting the bottom, lifting the base of the torso. Go at your own pace. While you're doing this exercise, make it a stretch in all directions. So reach all the way to the top. Reach all the way to the sides. Relax all the way to the bottom. And then with your breathing, the same. When you're reaching to stretch, make sure that you're relaxed so that your lungs can inflate all the way. Make sure you haven't lost at least a half smile. I had another teacher used to say, Gene, for anyone that knew Gene Wilder, would say in most classes, most work, you want to give 100%, 110%. But in this class, when you practice Tai Chi, you only want to give 70%. We're looking for a C, a low C grade, just average. We're going to work a lot, so don't work too hard. Wherever you're at on the next one, when you finish, go back to the center. So bring your feet together. Bring your hands together. And then once you're in the center position, recalibrate again from the top. Pull your head top all the way up, like there's a string up there, like this. Can you see this? If I lift this up, something, I'm pulling up on that. The same way, pull up. From where? Where do we pull up from? We don't know, but it works. And then relax your ears. Relax your whole face. And if you can relax your whole face, that means you should be able to go back to at least having a half smile. Open your vision all the way, and then allow your eyes and the eye sockets to all relax. Connect the tongue to the upper palate, to the right place. When I say the right place, I don't teach sometimes. There's different placements for the tongue. You can read about this in books online. And at different parts of your training, you'll put it in different places. You should read about that on your own. Relax your shoulders. Relax your elbows and relax your wrists. Use your center to support. Pull your tailbone down towards your heels and allow your lower back to open. Let the insides of the hips also relax. And then pump up the shape of your foot inside of your shoe. So make the shape of a triangle from your toes to your heel to the ankle bone. And then, but when you're gripping the toes and activating the feet like that, keep the same shape and the same power, but let the muscles relax. Relax your calves. Relax the muscles on the bottoms of your feet. Take another deep breath and relax. Now, when we do the warm-up, when we do all Tai Chi, try to keep the same. So that feeling of pulling up especially when we're working on the neck. Just turning around the center. Go at your own pace. My teacher, TC, told me, and he told many other students, he said, you must become your own physical therapist. So when we do this head turning, nobody can push your head top up and relax your shoulders for you but you. And if you have injury with your neck, problem with your neck, you have to understand the way that your neck works. The exercise I teach is very mild and gentle, but you have to become your own expert in your own particular field. When you come back to the center, we're going to do another one. And this is pulling up from the center. I want you to make your nose make the shape of the infinity symbol. So keep the head top up, and as if you're drawing on the inside of a balloon with the tip of your nose, I want you to make a big potato chip shaped infinity symbol. Keep pulling up on the head top. The same long, relaxed breathing that we did a moment ago. Come back to the center, relax, and turn your shoulders. I'll give the same speech again. You must become your own physical therapist. By the way, when we do this, I just caught myself doing something. Don't push your neck forward. Push your neck up. So sometimes when we're doing the exercise, we do weird things. If anything, tilt your chin, keep the pivot point up here, and push all of the upper back and neck and head top forward. Change directions, do some going the other way. And then alternate, expand. So the same speech, if you have a problem with your shoulder is a very complex mechanism. You can look in medical books to see where all the muscles and tendons are, and you can go to a doctor or a physical therapist to have them change directions, have them help you move your body in the correct way. But ultimately, you are your own physical therapist. You are your own dietitian. You are your own Tai Chi master. Next, make your feet comfortable. Instead of the feet together, shoulder width wide, and just turn it. So while we're doing this, keep turning, keep working. We turn back to the relaxed 70% breathing that we had started with, and add one more aspect, and that's stretching your spine. So pull the head top up and relax the tailbone down. And allow the space in between, everything, keep working. Everything from the head top to the tailbone. Allow all of that to twist and turn as much as you feel comfortable. Same thing, many people have problems with the back. It's a structural. You have to understand how your back works. You may go to a chiropractor. You may go to someone for some yoga to open and stretch your back. Ultimately, you will be able to best identify your own issues. Relax for a second. Grip your feet. Push your tailbone back and away. Use your abdominal muscles and take your back out of the equation Let your head top, let your hair down, let your crown point directly to the ground so that your neck and back are fully relaxed. And return to that same deep breathing that we started with. While you're there, keep your feet activated, keep the feet gripping the ground, and feel how the energy moves in your torso in a different way. If you relax your back, you'll feel, is it blood flow? Is it the chi moving? Is it the transition of the muscles going from tension to relaxation? Whatever it is, remember to breathe, and then when you're ready, grip the ground, use your stomach, use your abdominal muscles, core muscles, and we're going to expand all the way up, full inflation, full inhale, and relax. We're going to do that one more time. By the way, I use this as a sort of generic inversion. So if you have a yoga practice or you're very strong and you like to do a handstand and you can balance, you can use the wall for this type of activity, that's great. But for people that are older, we want to have the same benefits of a type of inversion and without having any risk of falling down. So again, grip your feet, make your feet shoulder width wide. You can make them parallel. There's some people teaching folding the body in half. But for here, relax, grip your tailbone, lock the base of the torso. Let your shoulders, hands, arms, head relax, and try to get back to that state of relaxation where you can feel the chi moving freely. Remember to breathe, same long, deep, relaxed breathing that we started with. And when you're ready, grip the ground with your feet, activate your feet, unroll your torso, inflate all the way up, breathing deep, fill all the way, keep the connection to the ground, stay rooted, and relax. So, something about your feet connecting to the ground and your head top. If your body was a tube, that would be the bottom of the tube. This would be the top of the tube. And sometimes acupuncture theory, sometimes the acupuncture idea is very, very simple. If you have a tube of water and there's something on one end of it and you like to move it, you can simply turn it upside down and the thing will move. If it's a rock, it will move very quickly. If it's a chemical solution, it may take more time. So sometimes we use this idea when you have a very bad headache. Instead of treating this area here, the energy is all stuck here. Perhaps there's something blocking the energy from moving somewhere down the chain. So we don't work on the head. Instead, we work on the other end of the tube. So if the energy is all at one end and we want to make it unstuck, instead of putting more energy into that end, we get the energy moving at this end. We create a circulation here, which then causes the whole water inside of the tube to move. So sometimes we want to be thinking about the yin and yang opposites of and this is the reason when we do the forward bending that I stress so much gripping the feet. Older people have problems with high blood pressure, dizziness, vertigo. So if you struggle with this, or if you have this, people sometimes taking medication have this, one of the answers from one of my Kung Fu teachers is when this is happening, rooting, getting your chi balanced, because this means that there's either not enough chi happening up here or there's too much chi happening up here, and we want to make sure that we have a solid root. So just that's a note for the forward folding. If you teach it and if you practice it, understand why, understand what's happening. We want to make sure that we balance the bottom with the top so that we're here, we have all the blood flow to our brain, all the chi is there. We don't want to stand up and become dizzy. Instead, I say grip the feet, you can activate the whole legs. Let's continue. Let's see, what are we bending? Let's actually do a little bit of leg stretching. So take a parallel stance, put one foot forward, push your tailbone back and away, and then stretch. And for this one, try to stretch your spine as well. And I don't mind if you point your nose towards your fingertips or your crown to stretch it in line. Either way, try to get back to that relaxed breathing state and reach a little bit further. When you're ready, push forward. Take a deep breath, relax. Let's try the other side. So sit back, push your tailbone back and away. You can use your leg for balance. Reach, grip the ground. Stretch your back and spine as well. Reach further. And then when you're ready, just push forward and stand up. We're going to do that one more time on each side, and then we'll do some work. So grip the ground. Put your foot out there. Stretch your spine. Remember to breathe. See if you can achieve this same extreme posture with the same relaxed breathing we started with. Change on your own. Grip that standing foot. Stretch. Deep breathing, relaxed breathing. And then step forward. How many can when you're in a stretch, when you make an adjustment, how many here can feel, can any of you feel a change if you're stretching and then you choose to make an adjustment, you relax, right? I can see people. Anybody now? Right? Yeah, it should be. And so this applies to really everything. It's one of the reasons we practice Tai Chi slowly. One of the primary reasons mistakes occur is trying to go too fast. And so when we slow down, we can be sure that every part of the movement is correct. We can be sure the level that we like to work to is the highest level we can achieve. And so if my hips are off even by a ½ centimeter, can I correct that? Can you correct it? So we're going to do some Tai Chi, and I want to talk about something if in case we have some technical difficulties with the camera. I'm hoping to maybe this coming week, maybe in coming weeks, if I can get the time, is teach a unique kind of class where we're going to watch the Tai Chi form through a different media. I'm going to try to connect up a VR headset and get that connected to where we can watch together. You won't need a VR headset. It's something that we'll do in class, and it will be a different way of examining the form. But that's what we're going to do right now, is the form. And we're just going to start with the first section, and then we'll talk more about things from there. So pick a space that's going to be your center. Like I said, this is a new camera setup for me, so pull your head top up, relax the midsection, and connect to the earth. Root yourself to the ground. Breathe deep, and bring your hands to the center. Take a deep breath. Open shoulder width wide. Some forms call this commencement. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Take your time. Step forward. Ward off. Breathing deep, grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. Hook. Single whip. Turning back to the north. I'll turn sideways. Split, square step, roll up. We're going to turn 90 degrees. Crane opens the wings. Soleil peepaw. Press. Square step back. Crane opening the wings. Play the harp just past your center line. Brush the knee. Press to the center. Breathe deep. Go back to relaxation. Brush knee. C-step. Press. Brush knee. C-step. Press. Holding the moon in the chest. Sometimes embrace the moon. Ba Lan Shui. Corner. Breathe deep. Open. Focus power. Rufon. Sleep. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. We're going to close the first section. So once you get to the top block, let gravity do the rest of the work. Come back to the center. Take a deep breath. How's the sound? Is it like earlier there was some? It's okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah, before we continue to do more, does anyone have thoughts, questions, comments, ideas? I keep looking over here because my monitor is over to the side. But go ahead. Yeah. Ask away.
Brian, I foolishly took off my glasses and missed the part where you were showing you're coming back from hook, whip, and then there's sort of a place where you brush something off to the side, roll up, roll down. Could you go through that section slowly?
Yeah. This is, by the way, this one is always a for people learning this form, because this one usually the person is learning just like we're doing here on video, learning from behind. So in a classroom, we would teach with the person about 3 feet, 45 degrees to your flank. right? So like a step wide and a step deep on a grid, so to speak, but instead of being right behind or off to the side, they're at the diamond pattern. So if I practice right here so that you can see, is what's the movement that comes before that? We have schwung, horizontal split, hook, whip. And so from here, when I'm turning from this hook and whip, if I face the camera, the first thing when I turn is I'm just letting my arms drop. And this is, we're not losing control of the arms, but instead we're allowing that the rotation of the arms and gravity, the gravitational force and the rotation to get this power, right? And this kind of power, if you use the back of your fist, like hammer fist, allow it to hit. See how much power? It's free. You didn't have to do anything. Make a strong fist. It's very powerful, right?
Wow.
And there's no effort. And the idea is the other person has their hand out. They're reaching into your space. So imagine if it's coming from the camera, I'm doing hook and whip here, and the power is coming right to the center, is I'm going to allow my arms to cross that power line. I don't have a stick handy, but the idea is that for the martial arts application, we're going to use that power and affect the wrist and the elbow. So one hand is landing on the wrist, the other hand is coming under the elbow. I should have brought a stick out here. You know what I may have? Hang on a second. Looking for a broom, because I can use a broom the same way. So let's go from here, from hook and whip. When I turn, my hand's falling naturally to this position. And what I was going to talk about earlier is this triangle, right, for Ban Lan Shui. So this same triangle is true here. You may see people, if I'm doing the form here, when I turn, they're doing, looks like this, something like this. This is all too far out in front of me. It should be comfortable. It should be right in front of your, this triangle where your hands meet naturally, right? And the foot doesn't have to be too high. So if I'm facing away from the camera, I have hook, I step here. When I turn my left foot first, stand on it, and then allow my hands to fold to the center. And we end up in something like this, right?
Okay, so that's the part I missed. You're not using this left hand to try to slap something away. It's part of a breaking of the elbow.
We'll get there. This one posture is kind of complex, because imagine if my arm is here and somebody else takes my arm and smacks my wrist and my elbow the wrong way, right? The idea is this sort of slapping motion, you can use that to offset somebody's elbow, right? That's to offset somebody's elbow. It's a very powerful movement. So when we're here facing forward, when we turn, connect to the wrist. This one is coming in behind the elbow this way, okay? That arm, once you have performed that type of activity, is not going to function. And so after we have that clipped here, when we step, this hand that's on the elbow is moving that arm, or whatever, the torso, the shoulder. We're controlling we can control the shoulder from the elbow, and we're turning the opponent's torso. So that's the brush that you're looking for. And so once that space is cleared for the rib cage, from here, we continue under to roll, take all of these bony pieces on the knuckle, on the sides of the elbow and wrist, and rolling that up. And then once it's up, we're pushing and rolling back down. And then we turn to the side for crane, for the other one. So let's repeat that a couple of times. The name for this, by the way, in the Mandarin is called Ti So San Shi. And my best translation of it is I got it from TC, it says lift hands to an upward posture. And is it this part that's the upward posture? Is it this part? I don't know, but they are both there. So let's actually look at it. If I'm facing north and I have hook and I turn to do single whip, I'm now facing west. I'm going to turn back to the north, so I shift back, avoid, make contact here, advance. Let's do that again. I'll kind of face a slightly different angle. So we have hook. I'm stepping along a grid, single whip, shift back to avoid, let the hands connect, split, brush, roll up, roll down, turn, crank. We're going to do it again some more. By the way, this is one of the reasons that we learn the martial arts form is the movements that we do make sense. There's a meaning to each of the parts. Tai Chi is very efficient. It does not have any wasted. A lot of times people say it looks very flowery. Any of that, what looks like a flowery movement, is recoiling chi to be delivered somewhere else. It's always has a purpose. If it looks beautiful, it's because it's correct. You do not have to learn the martial arts part of the form. It's not required. But it will require a special type of thinking and a special type of mind to remember all of the details in a different way than the martial art. So martial art also appeals to one of our most primitive parts in the Enlightenment culture, meditation culture. They refer to it as the monkey mind. And the monkey mind is always concerned about, it lives in fear, what's going to take the banana, right? And so once we understand Tai Chi techniques, supreme ultimate boxing, we don't have to have a fear about if somebody's going to try to give us injury. And so my teacher, TC, didn't refer to the Tai Chi as Kung Fu, right? This says Kung Fu. He referred to it as self-defense. So, do we want to learn the boxing art? That's up to you. Will it make learning lift hands to up posture easier? Yes. Can you learn it differently? I had one student from Malibu, from the Palisades, and she came up with some idea of origami birds flying around each other, and had a very beautiful form. You can use the Tai Chi form for anything. First and foremost is self-defense. Hook, square step, single whip. The power is coming from 90 degrees from the side, so I'm going to shift back to avoid that power and allow my arms to connect. Split, clear, roll up, roll down, crank. Hook and whip. So if I face, I'm just going to turn a bunch of different ways so that you can see I have hook, single whip, turning, split, brush. This can be a step or not a step. This foot, let's talk about the foot attack. Hook, single whip, split, roll up, roll down, change. What is happening with the foot? So remember, every Tai Chi posture has three phases. Ti So San Chi, lift hands to up posture, also has three. I'm here, power is coming like from the camera to my center. people always want to attack your center. Nobody's attacking your shoulder. If they do that, they're your friend. They go, hey, buddy, right? And they get you in the shoulder. Your enemy attacks you in the center. They want to punch you in the face, punch you in the chest, punch you in the stomach, punch you somewhere else. So the first thing is, if power is coming to my center, I avoid. This avoid can be the turn as well. So like a pivot that goes on a half circle, as I shift back, I bring that back to my center. We don't want to go outside of our square. We have the square step. We use the square step for a reason. I don't want to shift back so far that I'm forced to make another step. So make sure that you have the balance. You shift back. It's a rock step. So my foot comes up and pivots. And I turn to root that against my opponent. And this is the make contact. So this splitting, a lot of times people interpret this as a kick. But in this, you can use it as a kick and it will work just fine. In this one, my teacher liked locking. He'd like to take control of the opponent and control their structure through various joints, individual points, all types of different ways. So in this one, he would teach, once you have their arm locked, this other foot is resting on the ground and constraining their foot. Like a reverse doorstop. You're using their foot as the doorstop. So you're planting your heel on the ground and using the top half of your foot. Your hands or your feet are very articulate like your hands. You can use them surprisingly well. So you have your weight, you have your base. I can, just like we do the stretch in the morning, I can sit here, but I can also control the gas pedal. While it's resting on the ground, I can choose, if I use something, how much of my weight I transfer without losing my commitment to my rooted foot. So this is a Tai Chi. It's a very good Tai Chi, very good boxing technique. I like to step on people's toes that want to fight me. If people want to step to my space, try it with somebody that you know. Tell them, step on your toes and see how it feels. And try to pin them. Like chin-up, lock their foot to the ground, see how it feels. If you have people that you train with, practice this technique, because the first instinct is to pull away. And so if we have their arm connected, they want to pull away from there, and we have their foot trapped, they also want to pull away from there. And so what do? We assist them in that movement. So while they're locked here like this, they're trying to get away, and so we release and send them away. So this technique is, this particular posture has a boxing technique that's built into it. The same way, Shuang An, we push up. And so when we push up on the opponent, what do? They root, they get down, right? So then we push down, and they're down, they're already rooted, right? We talked about the horse stance. And so when we start pushing down on them, what's their inclination? I'll stand up. And so when they stand up, what do? Push up. And guess what? When they stood up, they got pushed. So this is the same, we use the opponent's fear, we use the opponent's weakness to create the space for us to escape or to do whatever it is that we need to do. So Shuang An, up. When we push up, the opponent hunkers down. When we push down, the opponent tries to stand up. In that moment, they've lost the chess match. It's tic-tac-toe, right? Once they're uprooted, and all we need to do is give them a shove, and we can push them very, very far. Lift hands to up posture. If I face this way, I have hook, single whip. I turn back to the north, plant one foot. This foot is either kicking or locking. The hands controlling the wrist and the elbow. Brush to the side. Step in and roll up to push away. Grip your standing foot, grip your right foot, turn. Yes, question. Oh no, it's a deep. Saying we have 10 minutes.
Brian, I do have a question to review.
Yeah.
So the weight shift would be hook, with whip, you're shifting to the left foot, then you're shifting forward as you rotate the left foot in, and then you're shifting back again, right?
Yeah, so if I face this direction, I have hook and single whip. My weight for single whip is forward. And
Okay.
so this transition to the next one is a rock step. I'm gonna shift back to I'm gonna go right foot, left foot.
Left foot,
So
okay.
that this one is free to do the thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for new people and people watching the class that aren't familiar. This is sort of expanded teaching on one particular posture, but I feel it's valuable because each Tai Chi posture can be examined and we can sort of zoom in and focus in on these kind of details for every posture. Grasp the sparrow's tail, shifting. We go from one foot to the other, and then when we ward off. So it says we have about 10 minutes. Let's continue. Let's do the space here. The camera is kind of a little bit compressed, so I have to move around a little bit. But just the best that you can. Try to follow along. We're going to do the first and second section up to cloud hands. I was hoping to actually do the full second section today for people that have been looking for that type of thing. Let's just do some Tai Chi while we have time. So get into the right position. Hold the head top up. Get into the right mindset. Relax your body, relax your mind. If the Tai Chi form confuses you, just use this time to do breathing. Try to follow one aspect, the spine, the feet, the breathing, the hands. Bring everything together in the center. Take a deep breath, open to the side. Sink your tailbone. Relax. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Think about the expression, ward off. That's powerful. Grasp the sparrow's tail. That's fast. Ward off. That's power. Roll back. Let everything relax. Go back to deep breathing. Embrace the moment. Banan Shui. Remember the triangle in front of you. Elbow power, waist turn. Full body structure. Elbows and waist turning to resolve to power. Ru Feng Subi. Close one door, close the other half. Turn. Embrace tiger. We're going to continue. Bring the feet together. Form a T. Step to the square, pointing directly south. Palm press to the center. Breathe deep. Roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Frown to your right. Double frown. No, half smile. Turn it. Split. Hook. Turn back to look at the moon. Ballet's fifth position. Right hand covers, left hand comes through the center. Repulse the monkey. Repulse the monkey. Number 3. Sheriff. Hai Di Zhang. Keep your neck straight. Senton Bei. Fen Shen Pi Shen Shui. Lan. Shui. Keep your head top up, neck straight. Di Bu Hua. Take your time, relax, change step, roll back. Look left, glance right, double press, horizontal split, hook, side whip, cloud hands, press right, press and step left, right, press and step left. One more, right, press, step. We'll do hook, corner whip, turn 90 degrees, single whip, bring your feet together. Take a deep breath. By the way, this is, earlier I had mentioned something. I said we use the opponent's weakness against them. Remember, Tai Chi is for self-defense, so we're not using this offensively. And in the same way that you can't cheat an honest man, is you can't beat somebody that has integrity. So if you have integrity in your structure, physical integrity, and your determination is not to push against your opponent, it would be very difficult to beat this type of an opponent. And usually this type of opponent, somebody that has integrity, is not reaching outside of their box anyway. So again, for self-defense, you can use the Tai Chi form for anything you like. Before we close, anyone have thoughts, questions, comments, ideas? If it doesn't cut off on us, because we have just a few minutes left, let's do some more breathing together. So take a nice tall stance, breathe deep on your own, go at your own pace. Sunrise, sunset. So turn all the way 180 from the east through the center to the west and back to the center again. And see if you can time your arms and your breathing to match. For this exercise, TC used to say, keep your hands within the vision and the vision within the hands. This call is about to end. That's going to be it. Thanks, everybody. Call, email, write if you have questions. Have a great weekend.